Maybe you guys could, not me. And then these photographs look so formal, because those are formal U.S. Senate portraits of his father. When you're a U.S. Senator, they take formal portraits, and you can have them for your own home or your friends' homes. One must hang in the state capitol, and one must hang in Washington. And then there's his mom again. One of her rose quartz lamps. But I thought you'd like to see his bedroom. It's pretty, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Come on over. We'll see Marion's room. Whose room?
Marion
Davies.
Davies. You know, I told you about her. She was his secret ha-ha mistress.
No secret, right?
No,
And she certainly isn't his mistress. She has $20 million of her own money.
well, you know it.
No,
Lover?
I don't. Lover is better. I like Lover.
Okay, lover.
Lover is good. Lover, friend, business partner. Is she some kept woman? No, that would be his wife.
No.
Yeah, go ahead, lead him in. His wife didn't have any money. Mr. Hearst gave her $10,000 a month. Very long.
Is it over, Seth?
Marion didn't need his money. She has her own. Well, it'd be okay now, my friend.
This is her. Oh, look at that. I love these lamps. Aren't they beautiful? And the hat boxes.
And Marion Davies was asked once, is it hard to be his girlfriend? Is it hard to be his mistress? She said, oh, I wouldn't know. She said, the only mistress he has is that house in San Simeon. What do you think he and his wife separate? His wife isn't crazy for this. She likes it. She's not crazy for it. Doesn't understand why he wants to be here more than he is in New York, which is where she wants to be, New York City, not upstate. Nothing upstate but Republicans and trees. You want to be in the city, where Mr. Hearst owned 27 acres of Manhattan, where he was a congressman who represented the Bronx, but of course wouldn't live in the Bronx. He lived on the Upper West Side at 86th and Riverside. This is Marion's room. Hearst and Marion were referred to as America's greatest public love affair. While men like Theodore Roosevelt's cousin, Franklin Roosevelt, were sneaking around the White House with girlfriends. God, I love that story. Spencer Tracy said, I can't divorce my wife Mary because she's such a good woman. That's thoughtful of you. Yeah, Hearst and Marion lived openly together. One of his executives asked him one night and said, can I ask you about the affair? Mr. Hearst said, what would you like to know? Can't imagine saying that to my boss, but still. The executive said, I want to know why you don't divorce your wife. And I want to know why you don't marry Marion. It doesn't seem right, doesn't seem like you, and I don't understand. And Mr. Hearst said, you don't have to understand. You are not involved. The only person that is liable for this situation is me. He said, I am the only villain in this affair. You will never blame my wife. You will never blame Marion. They are not to blame. Do you understand? There you go. That's pretty basic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either woman
Straight
could
to
have
the
walked
point.
away at any time.
Yeah.
They chose not to. They chose not to. I mean, maybe if Mr. Hearst had been a respected member of the Mormon Church and had 10 wives in the 1870s, that'd be okay. But he wasn't, was he? No, he wasn't. Maybe if he was a member of Islam, that could be arranged, in other words. But that wasn't going to be that way. Mr. Hearst is somebody who, I think there's no doubt that he loved his wife. But they fell out of communication, one of their sons said. And as for Marion, anybody who ever saw them together said and this is Mary Pickford, this is Calvin Coolidge, this is Walt Disney, Gary Cooper, Cary Grant, Randolph Scott, Barbara Stanwyck. They were all guests here at San Simeon. Anyone who had ever seen Hearst and Marion together said it might be the only time in their life they actually beheld true love. Hearst and Marion were inseparable. They lived together for 32 years. And when he died in 1951, he created 3 trusts, one for the family, one for the corporation, one for the charities. And then he left total, absolute, ironclad control of those trusts to Marion Davies.
Wow.
He trusted no one more than her by that point in his life. So she would care for his wife, she would care for his 5 sons, she would care for the charities, and she would get that box of notes they said he kept in a safe. It wasn't just notes, it was files. He kept files on every major player. All the secrets you thought you hid. No, he knew them. He dug them out. And if you were having trouble with you as governor of New York, then he would send an executive to you with a copy of that file. and you could read it before it was published, or you could change your ways, and it wouldn't be published at all.
How long did she live after he passed?
Mr. Hurst and Marion, 10 years and 1 month.
She lived 10 years and one
And
month
1 month.
after he did. Wow.
She wouldn't take the money, though. Yeah, she wouldn't touch it. She said she wanted nothing to do with the trust structure. She wanted nothing to do with what he wanted her to do. And she sold everything back to the corporate trust for $1 6 weeks after his death.
Wow.
So money was never the basis of their relationship in any way, shape, or form. She was asked once about that, and she said, "I'm not a very good gold digger, am I? I happen to fall in love." She was about 5'6", almost 5'7", weighed about 105 pounds. If you've never seen a photograph of Marion when she was very young, imagine a really good-looking version of Sharon Stone. That would be Marion Davies. In 1917, she was voted by the New York Times readers of New York City the most beautiful woman in the United States of America. Hearst had known the Times. The Times is boring. They call it the Gray Lady because their news is boring. They're conservative paper. Hearst is not. Hearst is flamboyant. He leads the yellows. Yellow journalism versus gray journalism.